Reggaeville TV. What did I say? Reggaeville.
This is Munchi, this is Reggaeville, and we're at Chiemsee Reggae Summer 2011 with the great Tippa Irie.
Enough respect, Reggaeville again. Tippa Irie in the building for Reggae Chiemsee. Just about to hit the stage in about half an hour. So looking forward to it, you know. Keep the reggae vibes pushing as always, you know.
Are you excited to go on stage tonight?
Always, man. I mean, you know, for me, this is my life, you know. So I love the music, love performing, love entertaining, love making people feel good, you know. And so it's always a blessing for me to reach out to the people that love my music.
Do you prepare in any special way for a show like that, or what can the fans expect from the show tonight?
Just the same energy, you know. I'm here with the Far East band. We're well rehearsed, we're well put together. So it's always just energy, vibes. They're gonna hear some old tunes, some new tunes, mixture of everything, you know what I mean? Roots, lovers rock, dancehall, I kind of cover all genres of reggae music in my live show. So it should be an exciting show. I'm looking forward to it. It's a pleasure to be here again, you know.
You've done quite some work with the Far East band lately. You did an album with them, you've been on tour with them. Is it like a family thing now?
Yeah, well, we're getting together now, you know. We've been performing now. We've done quite a few festivals over the summer, you know what I mean? And so with them guys, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? We got together, we done the album, Stick to My Roots. It's out now. And so basically, I'm just promoting it as much as possible. And, you know, I give thanks to all of the festivals promoters for, you know, inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present my album to the audience. So it's a blessing. But yeah, they're good. They're a good bunch of brothers. We get on fine. With me, it's just about the music now. I don't have no time for no politics or no animosity. It's just love. All love all around.
That's good. So how important is the vibe when you're making music with the people that you're working with at that time?
Well, it's very important, you know what I mean? It's very important that you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed, because then you give your all, you feel, you know, confident, and you feel good with your surroundings and the people around you and the people that you're working with. That's very, very important when especially when you're making music. And then when you're gonna go on the road and tour with them, you know what I mean? It's very important that you can get on with each other, because you're gonna be living with each other for a little while, you know, working and touring. So it's very important.
From the reggae scene here in Germany to the reggae scene in London, I've been talking to some artists in the last couple of weeks, and they said that it's very sad because, okay, we have a couple of big shows like the one in Wembley lately, but they said basically that the scene in England and especially in London is not that good anymore. They hardly keep dances and stuff. How would you say it is?
Well, it's for me, you know, as an artist, I've had the opportunity to see the world and tour the world. So, but the scene in London now, partly because of the downloads and stuff like that, all of the record stores are closing. You know what I mean? And I might as well tell you, even the famous dub vendor is going to be closing soon. You know what I mean? So all these things don't help. There's not as much labels anymore. I mean, my label, Lockdown Production, is one of the few that's still there, and we're still vibrant. We're working with a lot of the UK talent, people like Colour T, people like Leroy Simmons, people like Peter Huntingale, Lloyd Brown, all these artists. We're still recording them and still working with them. You know what I mean? And there's a lot more too. So I mean, for my label, it's vibrant, and you know, we're making progress, and we're still putting out stuff. But as far as sales are concerned, you know, they've really gone down to zero, or well, not very much. I mean, I'm working with Maxi Priest at the moment, and we done about 3-4 songs I wrote together with him. So I'm gonna have those tunes coming out on my label. There's a producer called Curtis Lynch from Necessary Mayhem that's doing very, very well, and we got a tune out with him called It's Like This. Like that with me and Maxi Priest. There's people like Mr. Williams that's doing well as well from the UK scene. So there is artists that's still there and still trying to fly the flag for the scene that we have in the UK. But now it's just about publishing and doing shows, because the sales have gone right down. And you know, the labels that were there back in the day, like Fashion, Irie is still around, Mad Professor is still doing his thing, but it's mainly more on the root dub side. you know, and people like Maccabee are still working and stuff like that. But it's definitely not as vibrant as what it used to be.
So you once said in an interview that the British and of course the London reggae scene is special and is a bit different from the Jamaican scene. So do you have any, apart from those that you mentioned already, do you have any artists that you see in this scene now becoming big and that are, you know, that you wish to grow more in the future?
Well, I mean, there's people like Gappy Ranks that's blowing up. You know what I mean? He's doing well, and he's from Harlesden. He's from the UK. You know what I mean? And there's like I said, I mentioned Mr. Williams. You know, that's doing well as well. And there's a guy called what's his name? We got people like Deadly Serious. There's I'm just trying to think of all of the artists. I've got a girl singer called Little Miss I'm working with. There's another a brother, his name slips my mind right now. But there is young artists that's there and that's coming up. You know what I mean? That, you know, it's gonna keep the scene alive, if you like. But you know, the veterans are there, still flying the flag, and we will continue to do so. You know.
That's good. That's really good. Let us stay in London just one more time, because of course everybody has in mind now the riots.
Yes.
And one thing that people claim to be the cause, or maybe one of the causes, was the actions that police take.
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to my personal mind when I heard that was the story with Smiley Culture.
Yeah. That was a very...
And you know Smiley personal from a long time. But please just tell us about the story. How did you experience it?
Well, I mean, for me, first of all, it was a very sad time. You know what I mean? Because it was somebody that was kind of like a pioneer on the UK MC scene. I used to work with him a lot on Saxon Sound. And you know, we done a lot of shows together. He was one of the first artists that introduced the patois and the UK slang that we use in the UK. You know what I mean? And so it was first of all, a very sad loss to us. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, from what I understand, you know, the police then went to his house to raid his house for whatever reason, and at the end of it, you know, one of our brothers had gone. So, I mean, the only person that could tell you what really happened there is not here anymore, which is Smiley. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm just upset because it's one of our icons from the UK that's gone, you know, and it's a very, 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 very sad time for us where the UK scene is concerned. I mean, I don't know the full ins and outs of everything. But what I do know is that, you know, before the police went to his house, he was alive, and when they left, he wasn't alive anymore. So you make of that what you will.
So did investigations never lead to any result?
Yeah, not really. We had a march. There was a big march that they marched on in the UK to protest against it. You know what I mean? And but of course, you know, when you have the powers that be, you know, they do something and they're basically in control of that situation, and you're not really in control of the situation, there's not a lot you can do. You know what I mean? Apart from protest or riot. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, things, you know, it was only going to be a matter of time before things come on top for the government and for the police, because, you know, they killed another brother in the UK, and his family, you know, obviously were torn apart by it. And then they had another march, and they marched on the police station in Tottenham, and then the police actually struck his sister, and then that's what sparked the riots in the UK. And then it just escalated from there, and you know, you could say it got out of hand. I mean, some of the burning and stuff that went on, I don't condone it, but they have to stop killing black people. They have to stop killing us. And at the end of the day, it's only going to be a matter of time before the youths them rebel. And the kids them in the UK, they don't really have. When I was growing up, we had a lot of community centers, youth centers, adventure playgrounds, we used to call them. And, you know, we had those things as youths to go to give our minds something else. But they've taken away the discipline for parents can't discipline their kids the way we used to. You know, my dad was a very strong disciplinarian. You know what I mean? And it didn't do me no good, did no harm. It made me what I am today. You know what I mean? And I think because they've taken the rights away from the parents and they're not giving the youths them no community centers, nothing to aspire to. You know what I mean? It's only going to be a matter of time before it explodes, and that's what's happened.
So do you think there will be any improvement now that this, what you call explosion, happened, now that government and then higher authorities might have realized that there is something going apparently wrong?
Well, now I think, you know, obviously when things to the extreme that happened in the UK happens, then all of a sudden they wake up and like, oh, you know what, we need to do something about this. You know, we can't, you know, and so basically there's, you know, I had a meeting before I came out here with an organization, and they want me to be an ambassador for their organization because they help deprived kids and stuff like that. So I'm going to do a show for them and do some mentoring for the kids and stuff like that. And so, yeah, you know, they're going to throw money at the situation, but what the kids need is time and, you know, and nurturing and, you know, more father figures and more role models, you know.
So what I wanted to know now is, do you do charity work a lot, like the one you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, I mean, obviously you need to pay your bills, so you can't be doing charity work all the time. You know what I mean? But if somebody comes to me with a proposition and I think it's a good cause, and especially with the youths and the kids, I think that's definitely a good cause. So, you know, I'll take part and I'll get involved. You know what I mean? But please don't take the piss.
But do you think it's a musician's kind of responsibility to do stuff like that?
Yeah, it's definitely, because you have to kind of give back, you know. And for me, I give back, you know what I mean, as much as I can. You know what I mean? And so I do that. You know, I give back to the community and I try to promote the place where I'm from, which is London town, and I do that in any which way that I can. You know what I mean? So that's me.
So what is you in the future still? What can the fans expect album-wise, tour-wise, stuff like that?
Well, I got about 30 tunes on my Mac. That's new that I've done. But right now it's all about Stick to My Roots, you know. I want the people them to check out Stick to My Roots, my latest album. It's my best work, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's all about blog.lockdownproductions.com, tippairie.com, lockdownproductions.com. You can go to all those sites, check me out, see what we're doing, what we're up to. blog.lockdownproductions.com. The manager's working overtime here. Yeah, but yeah, so that's what I'm about. But I mean, right now I have some stuff, some songs. The next rhythm selection that we got coming out is called the Driver Rhythm, and we have people like Maxi Priest, we have people like Omar Perry, we have people like Leroy Simmons, Tippa Irie. There's an artist that I'm working with, another new artist called Black Blunt, that I did a high grade tune with him.
Yes, the name.
Black Blunt, right? Yeah, and yeah, so there's a host of rhythm selections that we got coming out. The next one is the Driver, and then we got one called the Free, which is gonna be probably the title of my next album, which is gonna be called Free. Yeah. All right.
So we definitely have something to look forward to.
Yeah, I've done a load of different singles for a lot of different producers. It's hard to remember them right now because there's so much, but there is a lot of stuff coming out. I've done some for Necessary Mayhem. There's one called Reality Shock. There's a label called Gold Mine Productions that I've done a single for. I'm just trying to visualize my Mac now and try to go down them. Okay. And you know, there's some duets that I've done. One with Peter Hunningale called Friends Will Say. I did one with a singer called Barry Boom. I've done one with I've got a tune out with Ziggy and Omar Perry. That's out. I think that's on his album. And yeah, there's a lot, man. I'm busy.
That's good. That's nice. So keep yourself busy. I wish you all the best for the future.
Respect.
Thank you very much, Tippa Irie.
Give thanks and big up Reggaeville every time. Thanks for the support. Nice website, by the way. All right.
pleasure.